All right, welcome to this live, everybody. My name is Eric F. King, for those of you that do not know me. And today I'm going to be talking about 7 ways to build your visibility, authority, and credibility. Okay. And I'll just start by telling you a little bit about myself. I've been a sales coach for entrepreneurs now for about 15 years. So I help entrepreneurs 2x, 3x, even 10x their sales without being pushy or salesy. Okay. And like most coaches, right? Most coaches, I was always looking for more stages to speak, right? So I spoke on podcasts, online summits, I did lives, I did whatever I can do, right, to speak more. And then I was introduced to speaking in the studio. I saw Tony Robbins do an event. I spoke in the studio and really transformed my business. A lot more people saw me, and that's how I started studiospeaking.com, where I provide that opportunity for other coaches, speakers, and authors. Um, but today I'm going to focus again on how you can create more authority, more visibility, and more credibility in your business. And why is that important? Because most people won't buy from you if you're not a trusted authority, if they don't believe that you know what you're talking about, right? And you've been doing it for a while. Most people, like, there's too many options out there now. There's just too many options. They won't just buy from you because you're selling something, especially if you're talking high ticket offers, right? So that's why it's so important. So let's start with the first one, which is building an audience. You have to build an audience, especially online, before you can have any kind of traction in selling your offers, right? You have to build an audience. What do I mean by building your audience? Well, you have to be able to share valuable information online that people will learn from. And this has been going on even before online marketing, right? A good example of a company that built an audience is Starbucks, right? Starbucks built an audience. Think about it. Before Starbucks, uh, there was coffee everywhere, right? Every restaurant has coffee. They offer coffee, right? Almost everywhere you go, they offer coffee, right? McDonald's offers coffee, right? There's coffee everywhere. So how did they separate themselves, right? They built a culture. They built an audience. Now, people that buy coffee at Starbucks, they will never go anywhere. Like you can start selling. They can start selling for $25. People will still go to Starbucks, right? Because there's a culture. It's almost like a family, right? So you want to build an audience of people that know, like, and trust you, right? You want to build an audience of people that know, like, and trust you. And then you want to engage with the audience, right? So when you, like, it's not just important for you to post, but you want to engage with others, engage with their posts. So not only are you waiting for people to see yours, you're showing that you see theirs. And the number one way to get people to like your posts is to like theirs. Believe it or not, that's the number one way, right? So you want to get used to building an audience. All right, so that's number one. Number two is something that most people don't do, and most people, they're basically afraid of it. They're afraid of it, and that is you want to show up on video. I know I just lost some of you. You want to show up on video. Why is that? When you're talking about building know, like, and trust, people get to know, like, and trust you much faster if they can see you and hear you on a video. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You can just use your phone, right? It doesn't have to be fancy, right? But when you use video, people get to know you better. And 80% of the material that's consumed online are videos. 80%. Right? So that's why, and what it does is it attracts people. It attracts people, right? You can think about this. Let's say you have a website and you have all kinds of information. If you have a video there, that's what most people are going to click on. They're going to, let me watch the video, learn more about this person, right? So that's the power of video. The power of video. Also, Also, another thing about video is that when people see you on video over and over and over again, they feel that they look at you as you're real. They don't look at you as you're just someone online. It's like this is a real person. I can't tell you how many times I've met with people and on Zoom, and they say, I feel like I know you, Aaron. Like I feel like I've been watching for so long. I feel like I know you, right? I remember I remember before I had my coaching program, my sales coaching program, someone reached out to me to meet with me to learn more about how I can help them and whatnot. And and so we got on Zoom and we're talking, and she told me that she said, "Oh, you know what? I really have to run. I have to go pick up my kid or something like that. I'm so sorry." She said, "But before I go, I'll just go ahead and buy whatever you have. Just put it in the link, put the link in there, and I'll buy it." So I said, "Okay." So I put it in there. She bought it, and then later I asked her. I said, "Well, so how is it that you would buy something from me when you don't even know anything about it because I never told you about it?" She said, "Because I've been seeing you online. I've been watching your videos. And I figure you give value for free, so I'm sure you're going to give more value if I pay, right?" And she felt that she trusted me. Why? Because she's seen me on videos. If she's never seen me on a video, there's no way she'll do that because she doesn't know me, right? She'll be very skeptical, right? So that's why you want to start doing video. And let me just say this too: it's not as hard as you think, right? A lot of times we think things are harder than we. It's not as hard as you think. All you have to do to start is think about something that can help your potential client, your target audience, right? Whatever it is, write it down, put it on a sticky or whatever you want. And I'm just like talking to you about this is the easiest way, right? Just put it on a sticky and then say, okay, I'm going to talk about these 2 points or these 3 points, and just put it on a sticky and then put it on your phone right here, right? And then just put up your phone, right? And then press record and just act like you're just chatting with a friend. Act like you're just chatting with a friend. Like if you notice my videos, I'm talking to people. I'm talking to an individual person. I'm not saying, "Hey guys," yeah, I'm talking to you, right? Just like I'm doing right now. And then just share that tip, and that's it, and you're done. And that's a video, right? And the thing is, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. But before you do it, you have to have the right mindset, because you can't worry about the naysayers. You can't worry about people that will criticize you. You can't worry about people that don't want you to succeed, because they're out there, right? I'm not going to tell you that everybody wants you to succeed. No. Some people want you to fail. Actually, some people do not want you to be as successful as them, and that's okay. But once you decide in your mind that it doesn't matter what they say, oh my goodness, that's liberating. That is liberating, because now you have set yourself up to be able to share your value, share your knowledge with the people that want to hear it, right? And that's powerful. But before that, you are depriving people of the knowledge that you have, and you're depriving yourself and your family of the benefits that can come from these people, like people buying your offers, right? So you just have to get out there and do it, and not worry about the people that don't like it. I mean, I have videos where 500 people will watch it, and then I have videos where one person will watch it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just putting that value in the marketplace, right? I'm just putting that value out in the marketplace, and that's what's most important. So you want to definitely do more videos. And then when you get a little more comfortable, then you can have what we call a call to action at the end of the video. Okay. A call to action is where you tell people what to do, right? So you give, let's say I give 3 tips on public speaking, and then at the end I say, if you want more information, click on the link and get my free ebook. That's a call to action, right? I did a presentation, was it a couple of days ago, and I was talking about marketing tips, right? And I had a call to action because I have an ebook that gives you 100 ways to market your offer. 100 ways. And I said, hey guys, if you want to pick it up, grab it. It's in the chat. They clicked on it. I think I had like 10 or 11 people, right? By the way, I'll put it under this when I'm done. So because I know some people are going to say, what book? I want it. So I'll put it under it. So anyway, So have a call to action, and you don't have to do it every time, right? You don't want to do it every time, but sometimes you want a call to action. You want to be able to give people the next step, because some people want to learn more and they're like, what do I do now, right? So you want to give them a next step. Obviously, when they book a call, or when not book a call, when they click on your link to get your ebook or whatever it is, now they go on your email list, and now you're building an email list of people that know, like, and trust you, right? So now you can share more value, right? It's all about leveraging your time, right? So like I'm sharing value in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping, because some people are reading reading my emails and watching my videos while I'm sleeping, right? So you want to have that a lot of information out there. Right? So that's number two. Number three is this, and this is something that I see that a lot of people don't do, and it's so important. It's so important, and that is, you want to be an expert in something. You want to be an expert, right? Um, I think I think it's almost human nature to think that if I if if I tell everybody that I know a little bit about everything, right? A jack of all trades, then I'm giving myself more opportunities, right? But the opposite is true. The opposite is true. So let me give you an example. So like I said, I have a stage, studiospeaking.com, and every day people contact me, speakers, coaches, authors, consultants, like, Eric, I want to speak on your stage. I want to speak on your stage. But I actually have to vet them before they speak on my stage. One of the criteria is that they are an expert at something. So when I say, so what do you speak about? And the person says, well, I speak about mindset, right? Because you need a good mindset. But I also speak about social media marketing because I'm really good at that. But my passion really is branding, because I can help you brand yourself. But on the part-time basis, I'm a barber because I'm pretty good at that. And I sell insurance. And I'm thinking, you're not an expert at anything, are you? Now, I don't say it that way, but that you can't speak on my stage. Nobody's gonna pay you a lot of money to do any of those things because you're not an expert in any of them, right? So you're actually shooting yourself in the foot when you go around saying I do it all. You're shooting yourself in the foot because you're not an expert, right? So what you need to do is you need to niche down to something that you want to provide, and then once you have a following, once people know that you're good at something, then you can do something else, and then they're like, okay, he'll probably be good at that too, right? I think one thing that a lot of people think about is they say, I want to have multiple streams of income, multiple streams. Now, here's the deal. If you are at the beginning stages of different industries, then you won't really build multiple streams. You'll have multiple droplets. So you're not making money. You're not making much money at anything, right? Just making a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. You're making a little bit of money in insurance and making a little bit of money here in affiliate marketing, a little bit here, a little bit there, but you're not really making much, right? But when you get good at something, that's when you can charge more because you have more expertise. And that's when people will even pay you more, right? And then, so now you have a major stream, right? Now you have a major stream. Let's say you go full time, and then now you have time. You have more time to create another stream, right? So the moral of the story is you want to have one major stream of income, one major expertise that you share, where you share value. Okay, so that's number three. Number four is speaking. Speaking. As a coach or consultant, um, the number one thing that's going to allow you to be successful is when people hear you speak about what you do, right? So it doesn't matter how good you are. Like I hear people say, well, I just need to get another certification. No, you don't. No, you don't. Tony Robbins doesn't have a certification. Oprah doesn't have a certification. None of those people have certifications, right? Like they don't, they just do what they do, and they help people. They help so many people that they create that audience, and people believe them and respect them and buy from them. So don't focus on the wrong things, right? Somebody said, well, Eric, I'll start I'll start everything. I'll start speaking. I'll start doing lives once I publish my book. You don't need to wait for that. You can get online and start sharing your value and then publish it as later. But it's not like once you publish it, you kind of become rich and famous. It doesn't work that way. You got to just do something now. You got to do something now and then build upon it. Don't procrastinate. Don't fool yourself into thinking that I just need one thing. Once I get that one thing, then I'll start. Then you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. You need to just start where you are by just sharing value. Okay. So speaking. When I say speaking, there's so many different ways you can do it, right? So there's lives. You can do something like what I'm doing here, right? You can speak on podcasts, right? Podcasters always need guests. But when you're speaking on a podcast, make sure you're speaking to your target audience, right? So if you teach, let's say you teach social media marketing, right? You don't want to get on a podcast for people that hike, for hikers, right? They're like, we just want to hike. We just want to learn how to hike, what we need to buy, right? We don't really care about all that stuff, not social media stuff, right? So yeah, so you want to make sure you're speaking on shows where your target audience will see you. Okay, so that's very important. All right. So there's podcasts, there's online summits, right? You can do lives. There's so many ways you can get out there. The way that I definitely recommend is, speaking in a studio, because that's what I do, right? I help people that want to speak in my studio. That's another great way, because when you do that, you separate yourself from the masses. Most of the people in your industry they've never spoken in a studio at a studio event. I'd say 90%, at least 90%, right? So you want to separate yourself from the masses. You definitely do. And I'll talk a little bit more about the studio later, but I just want you to keep that in mind. Yeah, and then when you speak, you want to tell stories, right? Like I started by telling you my story. You want to tell stories because stories, it captures people's attention, right? It captures people's attention when you tell stories. People remember stories. They don't remember facts, right? They don't remember facts. So you want to tell stories. All right. So let me just say here. Okay, good. Yeah. So you want to tell a lot of stories. And another thing stories are good for is sometimes people don't even know how to use your offer or your service or whatever it is. But when you tell them stories of people that use it, they're like, oh, now I get it, right? All right. So that leads me to the next point, which is number 5, which is social proof. Social proofs. Okay. Social proof is basically evidence. People want evidence that you are what you say you are and you do what you say you do. People may not say it, but they want it, right? I remember I was in Florida a few months ago. I went for a mastermind, and I was looking for a hotel to stay there. And for me, cleanliness is so important. It has to be a clean hotel. Like I like newer hotels, right? Because it has to be very clean. Like I don't like spotless, right? So I didn't go on the hotel website to find out what they say about their hotel. I went into the reviews to see what people say about the hotel. And that's what people do. They want to know, what are people saying about what you do? So you want to create social proof. You want to create testimonials from people that have used your product, your offer, whatever it is. For those of you that are speakers, anytime you speak, you want to record it and you want testimonials from that speaking engagement. Now, here's the deal. You don't want to contact the meeting host or someone like a week later and say, oh, can you give me a short testimonial? You want to do it on the spot. Why? Because that's when people are excited. That's when people are excited. People say, hey, I'm just looking at the name here. So they say Heather. They're like, oh my goodness, I just heard Heather speak and it was an incredible speech. She told us about ABC. I can't wait to hear her next one. Oh my goodness, this was such an incredible speech she gave. She's such a dynamic speaker, right? So people say it with excitement because they just heard you. And those are the videos you want to put on your page, right? Because people are like, wow, she must be really good. Then what? They're gonna pay you more. They're gonna give you more. You're gonna get those speaking gigs, right? So you want to have testimonials. Whatever you do, you want testimonials. It can be video testimonials. It can be written testimonials. Whatever it is. And here's the deal: it's not hard to get a testimonial if you're providing value, because all you're gonna say is, so how did you like what I offered, right? Or how did you like my presentation? Oh, I think I loved it because of one, two, three. I say, great. Do you mind putting that on video, just like a minute or so? They're like, sure, no problem, right? That's what you do. So you whatever you're doing, you want to have testimonials to be able so more people can see it. Because what like if you go on studiospeaking.com, look, before I started my business, I would talk to somebody and they're like, I have to think about it. Like, do you have anybody that's spoken on your studio yet? I'm like, no. Yeah. Let me know when you do. I was getting that a lot. Why? Not because they don't believe me, but they don't have any evidence. But now when you go to studiospeaking.com, you see 20, 30 testimonials. So now people contact me and say, yeah, Eric, I want to speak on your stage. I'm ready to go. Because they've seen all this evidence, all kinds of people, young, old, black, white, that's like all kinds of people that have spoken, right? It makes a difference. So that's why you want to have testimonials. All right. You want to have testimonials. So I'll give you an example actually. So before I started the studio speaking, I was just, I was a sales coach. And one of the ladies that took my course, her name is Sabrina from Florida. She loved the course and she was able to go out and start selling right away. And she was able to make more money than she's ever made before. And she was so excited. And she called me up. She's like, "Thank you, Eric. You changed my life. Now I can sell with ease. It's just getting easier and easier and easier." And she told me how much she made, and I was so happy for her. So I said, okay. I said, well, do you mind doing a short video for me and just sharing what you just shared with me? She said, no problem. So she did this video, a short video, and I watched the video. And after watching the video, I was so disappointed. And you're probably wondering, why would you just be disappointed? Because she never talked about how much money she made. She never talked about all those things she said to me. This is what she said. She said something like, yeah, Eric is really trustworthy. You can trust him. Like something like that. Right. So I thought that's not going to help. Anyway, I put it on my site anyway, because it was a testimony. So a couple months later, someone decides they want to buy my offer, right? Before I explain it. And when I asked her later on why she did that, she said, because I was on your site and I heard this lady talking about how trustworthy you were. And that's all that was important to me anyway. Like, I just want to work with someone that won't rip me off. So that's all she needed to hear. So that testimonial that I thought wasn't a good testimonial, it was something that somebody else could relate to, right? That is why you don't want to tell people what to say. Do not tell people, just tell them to be themselves, right? And you want to have different people because you want different, viewpoints, right? So testimonials are very important. And if you're a speaker, you want testimonials of the places of the hosts, right? To tell the people what they gained from your presentation. Okay. All right. So that's number 5. Number 6 is you want to network and collaborate with others. So if you're a speaker, you want to know a lot of speakers. You know how easy it is to get a speaking gig when you know the person. When you're recommended by another speaker that has spoken on that stage, it's so easy, right? So if I know you and I know you're a great speaker and I've spoken on a stage and I tell the meeting holder, I say, hey, you guys want another dynamic speaker? Hey, call so and so. It should be perfect. So now that person doesn't have to go through all these hoops, right? They just sign it. They're like, sure, if you recommend her, right? Boom, right? So that's why you want to network with other people, right? You want to collaborate with other people. That's collaboration is a new currency. It really is. It's, it's easier to get to a whole new audience when you collaborate with someone that's familiar with that audience, right? That it's almost like the people that speak on my stage, they're in a way collaborating with me, because when they get to my stage, I edify them and I tell them, I tell my group, you know, all the things that they've done, and I tell them, okay, she's an award winner, I give them an award and all that stuff. So now they're like, wow, if Eric looks up to this person, then I'll look up to the person, right? So that's the thing. So you want to network, you want to collaborate. That's what we call warm market. It's a warm market when you're meeting people and you're doing business with the people you know. Okay. And then lastly, before I get into what I do with the studio, is the bottom line is you want to help as many people as possible. Helping people is the number one thing you can do to build a big business, right? When people need what you have, they'll go borrow the money for it, right? Okay, so my son had a project, and he needed to buy some tools to do it. He needed to buy these tools, but he needed it by the end of the day. And I did not have time to take him to buy anything. And he tells me, he says, Dad, I saw on Amazon that if you get it now, I'll actually get it tonight, and then I'll be able to finish my project for tomorrow. So guess what? Now, Bezos is the owner or the founder of Amazon. Now, I never thought, if I buy this, am I giving money to him, or am I making him rich? Or I never thought about it. All I thought about is that's the only guy that can help me right now. This is the site that can help me. So I went on there and bought it. The way I did that, thousands, probably millions of people did that this month, right? That's it. So he's helping so many people, he became a billionaire. Like you can't stop it, right? So whatever you do, you have to help people. You have to be able to solve people's problems. If you're not doing that, the money won't come in. If you chase the money, it'll run away from you. But if you focus on service, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at how much you can make. All right. So let me tell you real quick about the stage for those of you that have an interest in learning more. The stage is in North Carolina. Okay, it's in North Carolina. It's all my speakers actually come physically to the stage. And it's really a 2-day event. So everybody else sees you speak and everything, but we start the day before. We have a beautiful reception, red carpet and everything. It's really fun. You do a tour of the facilities. So it's really fun. We get to talk and mingle. Then we go to dinner, right? So it includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all of that, right? So you get to network with all these people. And then the day of the event itself, right? So we do like a little rehearsal. And then when you speak, when you come out to your song, your theme song, whatever song you want, if it's appropriate. Because some people, they give me a song, I'm like, I'm not playing that, bro. I'm not playing that. But anyway, appropriate song, right? You come out, and then I give you a world-class award, customized award, right? That really just what it does is it honors you for what you've done in the past and all the people you've helped in the past, right? And then it also gives you credibility with the new crowd, right? So now you're an award winner, right? So we do that. You give your presentation, and then we're obviously we're doing video of everything, right? So you're gonna get the video. You're gonna get the video for the presentation. You're gonna get the behind the scenes, all of that. And then we're going to give you the reels, done for you reels. So you don't have to get an editor or anything like that, right? We give you the reels that you can post on your social media, any way you want, right? But then that's not all. Then we go back to the hotel. We rent this whole room where where we do a photo shoot. So you get to do a photo shoot because we need pictures for everything now, right? We need pictures for our websites, our books, our events, all of that. So you get to, real nice, right? We have music playing. It's really fun. It's really fun environment, right? So you do a photo shoot, okay? So after that, then, so sometimes we go out after that as well. Now we actually added the magazine. So when you speak on my stage, some of the pictures we take, we're actually going to actually going to put you on the cover of a magazine. So this gentleman spoke on our stage, right? So now you're going to be seen by thousands and thousands of people through this magazine, and it's both physical and digital. So here are the people. So you see this guy, right? Well, that's me, obviously. That's Shay Brown. He spoke on our stage as well, right? You see, that's Tundra Prize. So all these people have spoken on our stage. You see that? You see that? So yeah, so we feature you in here, and it's powerful because not only it's more than an article. It's an advertorial because we're actually promoting you and promoting what you do. Okay, it's wonderful. People love it and they get a lot of recognition for it, right? So that's another benefit. So we put you in a magazine, right? So if you've never been in a magazine, you're going to be on the front cover. Everybody gets a front cover of the magazine. Now, prior to speaking on the stage, I do ads, right? I do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, promoting what you do. So that draws people to come to the event and watch you, right? One of our speakers, I remember Sylvia. She spoke on our stage, and she just came out with a book. She spoke on our stage. The next day after she spoke, she became a best-selling author. She was so excited, right? And then she actually did this twice. She signed up again to speak on our stage again, and she got speaking engagements like crazy. In fact, she got a speaking engagement before she got off the stage, because someone messaged her and said, we would love to send you the contract for you to speak on our stage. So she got a paid speaking gig. She sold over 300 of her books. I mean, she loved it, right? So we help people get business, like in terms of coaching clients, help you sell your books, help you get them on podcasts. There's so many benefits of being part of this. And then we keep showing your videos, because if you follow me on social media, you see that I keep promoting my speakers, right? And then there are a whole bunch of other things. I give you my swag bag, like custom swag bag with 10 different gifts for you and your family. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of stuff. Also, I include my sales coaching, because as you know, I'm a sales coach, right? So I include my sales coaching in there. So if you ever wanted to know how to create an offer, if you want to know how to monetize your offer, how to sell high ticket offers, all of that, I go through all of that and more, just because you're one of the speakers. So if you're interested, or you just want to learn more, go to studiospeaking.com, see if I can put it in here. And then just click on the link and book a call. I'll be glad to speak with you. Now, I don't take everybody. So don't be mad if I don't accept you on the stage. I don't take everybody, but if you are serious, you have to have some speaking experience. It can't be your first stage, or it won't work, right? Because it's a little nerve-wracking if you've never spoken in front of a group before. All right. So let's see if there's some questions here. Yes, Coral. Yes, that's a good question. So that's what I'm saying right now. Yeah. So to qualify, you have to be you have to be an expert at something. Remember, you have to be an expert at something. Because if I'm bringing you in as a leadership coach, I don't want my people to go to your website and see mindset, insurance, crypto. Like, it just do all kinds of that. They're like, nah, I'm not, because they'll be afraid to even talk to you, because they're afraid you're going to sell them insurance or crypto or something. You know what I mean? So that's why I just focus on one thing. Yeah, and then you have to have some experience speaking, obviously. Let's see. Okay. When you had the first video, yes, when I had my first studio event, yes, Carl, I was nervous. Here's one thing I'll tell you guys, because you may not believe this, but anything I do for the first time, I'm nervous. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being nervous. You just channel the energy in a positive way, right? The first time I spoke on Zoom, I was nervous. The first time I did my first video, I was nervous. Like, that's no excuse. It's not an excuse to not do it, right? No, you want to be growing. If you're comfortable at everything you do every day, you're not growing. Like, you're limiting your success. You're limiting your income for sure, because most of the income that you'll make in your life, you're going to make it outside of your comfort zone, not inside of your comfort zone. Right. So write that down somewhere. right? So if you're just comfortable with everything you do, oh Lord have mercy, you are not fulfilling half, maybe you're fulfilling maybe 30% of your potential if you're just comfortable doing everything. I always push myself. I'm going to be starting something soon. Again, pushing myself. So you want to push yourself. But that's a great question. That's a great question. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Connect with me if you haven't connected with me on social. Eric F. King on all the social media platforms except for Twitter. Is it still called Twitter now? I don't know what it's called, but anyway, I'm on everything else. All right. So appreciate you. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure to be here with you today. Take care. Bye bye.